Wow, welcome back to Harvard. That was, of course, Paul Ryan on Meet the Press the other day, defending the House-approved budget plan that would end Medicare as we know it. The Senate is, of course, going to take that measure up either the next 2 days, one of the next 2 days, and that's coming up right now tonight in that special House race up outside of Buffalo. We're going to test it tonight politically. If that Democrat wins in that Republican seat up there, look out. Will Democrats, our question right now, hold this around the neck of all Republicans next year? Democratic Senator Barbara Boxer is a member of the Commerce Committee of the U.S. Senate. Senator Boxer, this is one of those issues that comes along that clearly seems to define the two parties.
Yes. Yes, every once in a while you see into the heart and soul of our leaders. Paul Ryan is a leader, and he is leading the Republicans to a place that I think they shouldn't go, which is to end Medicare as we know it. And today, the women of the Senate held a press conference. And, Chris, I'm going to give you this one statistic because there's too many of them, but here's one that's important. The average income, the median income of a senior woman, a woman 65 or more in this nation, is roughly $14,000. Under the Republican plan, which Ryan started, it is now the Republican plan, they passed it, her health care costs will be $12,000. So she earns $14,000 a year, and now she's going to have $12,000 a year in health care costs, up by double of what she's paying now. Now, she can't live. Chris, what is she going to do with the $2,000 that's left over? I just don't know. It's a disaster. So she's not going to get any Medicare. She's not going to have any health insurance. She's going to go to the emergency room. She'll have a terrible quality of life. It's so tragic to see this. And by the way, her benefit goes directly to the insurance company. She never even sees a check. It goes straight to that fat cat over at the insurance company that's earning an average $12 million to her $14,000, and whose profits have gone up 41% in the last 12 months. That's the Republican Party for you.
Senator, what I think, maybe I'll give you a chance to explain it. They just simply offer up sort of a gift certificate that doesn't cover any big chunk of your cost of a health insurance premium. If you're 75 or 80 years old, it's very hard to get insurance that isn't going to cost a lot of money, right? And that's their idea.
Of course. But I'm saying, even though it's a gift certificate, guess what? It doesn't even go to the individual. It goes straight to the insurance company. So it doesn't even go to the recipient anymore. This is unbelievable. And, you know, again, look, all you have to look at was the vote on the ending the corporate welfare, as I call it, to big oil. These companies are 2, 3, and 4 on the Fortune 500. They've been getting these subsidies for 50 years. We could have gotten tens of billions of dollars. Instead, they want to hurt average people. And this is the difference between the parties. To those of you out there who say there's no difference, it's not true. It's not true.
It looks to me like some of the Republicans are jumping overboard. Scott Brown, who certainly is a politician, he's jumped overboard. The two senators from Maine have jumped overboard. Murkowski of Alaska. So it looks like a lot of I'm looking at 3 Republican women here are basically it looks like they're getting off of this. Is that what's going to go on politically, that it's too hot even for the Republicans to support?
Well, I hope they jump off it. But you have to remember, Scott Brown said, thank God for the Ryan budget. My point of view is, thank God we're going to beat the Ryan budget. He said it started the conversation. No, it didn't. It's ending the conversation. The way you start the conversation is that we all in America know we have to do something about the deficit. Remember, we did it with Bill Clinton. The way you do it is define what are the investments you want to make, what's waste, fraud, and abuse, and how does everybody pay their fair share. And it starts with big oil and the billionaires and the millionaires. And then we don't have to hurt the middle class and the working poor. I mean, America is great because of our middle class. And our seniors, this is the greatest generation. They're the ones that now need to know they don't have to worry about, having their dignity, and they need their Medicare. And I'll tell you something, they're listening.
What's the Democratic plan? Is there a way of doing cost containment? I know you and I, I mean, you've been working on this for years. Is there any way to contain the galloping costs of medicine for people, especially who need a lot of medical help when they get older?
Well, definitely, and we did it in the Obama plan that is now the law, which I hope they will keep the law. How did we do it? We said, we're going to stress prevention. People are going to have free checkups so that they know right away if they're getting sick, and it doesn't wind up to be a very costly problem in the end of the day. We do it by making sure that there's no fraud and no waste, and we're tough on waste and fraud. But for goodness sakes, you know, I was watching, I think it was either Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert one night a few days ago, and they said, guess what, Republicans? Old people want to live. And whether they're Republicans or Democrats, they don't like what you're doing. And this is something people should never forget. You know, Newt Gingrich said 15 years ago, let Medicare wither on the vine. Bob Dole, when I went back into the 60s, when Medicare was put into place, said something like it's socialism and it's horrible and it's the worst thing in the world. And the fact of the matter is it works. There's a 1.5% to 2% overhead in Medicare. The insurance companies have a 20 to 30% overhead. What are these boys doing over there on the other side? I'll tell you, they've made a huge mistake, and people are saying bye-bye to this idea. We'll see what happens in New York tonight, but I have to say, regardless of whether we win, we lose, or, you know, it's very close, it never should have been a race for the Republicans. They've held it for, you know, decades. But this budget, this is just a part of their budget. They do things like they do away with the education department, the energy department. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Senator Barbara Boxer, you're great to come on this show. Thank you so much for coming on Hardball.